So you just received your hot tub, your Canadian Spa Company hot tub here. We're going to take you through some of the steps on what to do to get it up and started. First thing we're going to look at is you see this is in position and ready to go. We're going to start with filling it up. So I've got our garden hose here. And what you're going to want to do is find your filter housing lid. And this one is a double filter housing lid. So this takes two 50 square foot filters. Some of them will have a screw in like this one does. That's two screw in connectors here. You take those out. Other ones will just lift out if it's a single. You're going to lift these out and take this one off, put it to the side. And in here is where you're going to want to put your hose. You're going to want to put your garden hose and you want to fill it up through the filter intake housing. So this is where you want to put your hose and fill it up. Don't put your hose in the center of the tub. Put it inside the filter housing because it helps to prevent an airlock from occurring. So we're going to want to put that in and we're going to fill it up. And we're going to fill it up right to where the LED light is. So fill it up right below it, and at that point we'll come back and take the next steps. We're going to be putting in the filters directly into the filter housing. So just like we did before, we want to remove the filter housing screws. Okay, put these off to the side. Take your cap, filter housing lid off. Put that off to the side. And what I've got here are two of our Glacier filters. These are 50 square foot filters with the built-in antimicrobial protection along with the silver ions on the tops and the bottoms to proactively clean your tub. These go directly in filter housing and screw. So they have a threaded bottom, and that threaded bottom has to line up with the filter intake for it to actually work. You need to make sure you're using genuine Canadian Spa Company filters. Otherwise, what happens is your spa won't properly filter because water won't go through the filters. They'll come around the outside. So make sure you're using genuine Canadian Spa Company filters. And with the double pack, you get a pre-filter set of pre-filter screens as well. Those pre-filter screens, you lift back the width of the gate, put the screen on top, and then you put the gate back down. And that sits to collect a lot of the larger debris that could come through, and you can use that to skim it off. So you put the cap back on, put your little screws on as well, and we have finished installing the filters. Okay, so now we've started up the tub and we just applied power. You're going to get some messages and diagnostics appear on the screen here. This is just going through the standard diagnostics. You're going to notice here it's going to tell you the voltage, 240 volts. This is very important that you want this to read the right voltage depending on the tub. If it's a 120 volt tub, it needs to read 120. If it's a 240 volt tub, it needs to read 240. If it does not, this tub will not operate properly. You need to get in touch with your electrician. So run pumps purge air. This is the priming cycle. You can bypass this by pressing one of the temperature buttons. And now you're going to get the low speed on the pump 1 working. And it's going to have these horizontal lines, which is reading the current temperature of the tub right now. Pump 1 is running on low. And as you see, this is in ready mode itself. Excuse me, okay. When you press the temperature button now, this is the temperature that you want the tub set to. It's going to flash. You press either temp up or temp down to set it to whatever temperature you want. Let's go to 98, or let's go to 100 on this one. And we're going to let it flash and let it set. So once it's gone solid, now it has been set to 100 Fahrenheit. So what you're waiting for is for the temperature to show up on the tub here so that it reads the current temperature and it knows what the temperature is inside so that it can set itself to 100. You'll see the icon for Jets 1 is on right now. If you press Jets 1 again, it'll turn it on to high speed. Press it again, it goes back to low because it's trying to read the temperature. As you see, it's now been read at 94. And the heat light has come on. This is now stating that we need to turn the heater on to heat up because we set it to go to 100. When flashing means the heater's just starting, and this has to raise another couple degrees to get up to the set temperature that we set it to. When the heat light goes solid, that means that it's actually fully heating the tub, and you can now leave your tub as it's now going to heat up to that set temperature. Let's let this flash a little bit more so we can show that it's heating. We're in ready mode here.
which means that the tub's always going to maintain its set temperature, and range up, which means you can get up to 104 Fahrenheit. You've got jets button, and depending on the tub, an invert button here, if it's a 1 or 2 pump spa, which allows you to flip the display. So if you're inside the tub, you can still read the messages that are being displayed on the display. We've got a temperature up, temperature down, and over here is the lights button, which when pressed, the light button indicator shows up, and you can adjust between the different light styles by simply pressing, turning them on, and turning them off. Heat light is still flashing here, should go solid very, very soon, at which point we know that it is fully heating the tub up. Pump 1 will continue to run on low continuously until it has reached its set temperature. Don't worry, the tub will turn itself off once it has reached its set temperature, but you need to constantly apply power, and you need to make sure that pump 1 is running on low for it to heat. As you see now, the heat light's gone solid, and we can now leave this tub to heat itself up till it gets to its set temperature, at which point we can then get in and use the tub and enjoy. All right, so now we're going to go over some of the features of the tub, some of the controls. We're going to start with these air controls here. This air control rotates, and it will control the section of the jets that it's closest to. And what this actually will do is pull in the warm air from inside the cabinet and mix it in with each one of the jets, so that warm air comes back out and adds more air bubbles and pressure and actually creates your hydrotherapy inside your tub. So we're going to put it on high to show here. This is high without the air turned on. And when we turn on the air bubbles, open up the air control, you can see there's a much bigger amount of pressure coming out with the jets, and you can feel it. Versus when we turn it off, it's much lower. Okay, so these air controls control the different jet sections, allowing you to inject that warm air from inside the cabinet back inside the tub. The next one we have over here, this is a waterfall control. And this, when rotated, will actually turn on or turn off your waterfall, allow you to control how much pressure actually comes out of the waterfall itself. Okay, so let's leave that on there. We'll come over here, this is aromatherapy. This aromatherapy canister unscrews, and inside here can be put the scented beads that you can purchase separately from us in this canister inside, and then be partially closed. You want to leave this about halfway on, because you want a little bit of air to be pulled in through here. When you do that, you want to close your air controls that we already talked about over there, and allow a full amount of suction to be created on here to pull in the scent that comes through these aromatherapy out throughout the tub. So you want to close your air controls, put this cap on halfway, and allow that full scent to be coming out throughout the tub.